Welcome everyone, and we're going to be doing a video review of a few cameras today and comparing which one is the best one to get. Unfortunately, my main camera is not around because it's being reviewed here. There's 3 different cameras in those bags and I'll be showing you each one of them, and of course those are my favorite kind of bags to store them in. And now you could even figure out which one is which if you wanted to do so. So this is for the S110 camera. It is the same identical size as the new one that just came out, which is the Canon G9X. In fact, this and this one is technically the same camera. It used to be S110, it went to S120, and then it jumped a whole to another line called the G9X. Those are the smallest cameras. Now this one is a little bit size larger. And this one is actually my main camera that I usually use, which is the Canon G7X. Now your question is, which one should you be getting? Probably that's why you're viewing this video. So there is a pluses and minus to each one of them. Of course, one of my most favorite cameras is actually the one no longer being made, the S110. You can potentially get this camera, but it's going to cost you a fortune because it's no longer being made. It costs around $500 or so. Why do people still want this one versus that one? The low light capabilities of the S110 and S120 are legendary. In fact, the S110 I think has even better low light capabilities than the S120. Also macro capabilities as well. And look at how small size it is. It fits in the palm of your hand. Not to say that this one doesn't. It also fits in your palm of your hand. It's a little bit bigger. But when it comes to pocket size cameras, this one is quite large for a pocket and bulky as well. You can see how bulky it is. This one right here is super slim and it fits in a small one. And the difference between the two bags, this is twice as big, this is smaller. And no, it's not going to fit in this one, even if you try it. A few more things about this. Now, this is my new favorite color, by the way. Except for that, let's compare size-wise. I don't want to bore you with all the specs or the capabilities. You can watch other videos if you wanted to find that out. I want to show you hands-on reviews of those cameras. So now you can tell here the different sizes between them. So the G9X, the S110, and the G7X II. This is actually part 2. In fact, this is part 2 as well, but they are actually technically the same exact thing. You can't really tell if this is the G9X II or the G9X1. They look and they feel almost identical. Maybe I even got ripped off, who knows. It could be that this one is the G9X1 and I didn't even know about. I hope not. How do you tell? Well, you can go into the setting and try to find it out. Of course the box itself will say it, but who knows. Sometimes they might try to, rip you off and something like that. Makes me question, is this really the right camera? Let's type in copyright info right here. Nope. It's really hard to tell which camera it is in the menu. There's very minor differences. Oh, there it is. There it is. I was getting suspected that this was a fake copy. Not fake copy, but I thought this was a G9X. Actually, Mark 1, not Mark 2. So it says right here G9X Mark 2. In case you're wondering, and in case you wanted to know if yours is the real deal or not. Now, let's compare the old version and the new version. So this is the old version, you can't actually get anymore, and the new version right here. And the big difference between the two, it is a little bit bigger, just a little bit. But since the difference between the old one and the new one is so slim, both of them can fit in the same slim, super slim case, which is the one I'm using. This is the same case I use for both of them. So both of them can fit in here. When you put them in here, this is one of the best cases, by the way. There's going to be a link below if you ever want to get them. Great for your pocket, and it is crush proof. I think you can literally sit on this and it's not going to break, but don't take my word on it and don't even try it. But if you feel it, you will see this is very, very substantial case. Now, in case I wanted to, test it out, I just suggest you test it out without your camera inside. So close it up, and you can see it's pretty substantial. It does, go in and out a little bit, but it is decent. Now you can put a little bit here, one of those, so you can hold it in your hand if you want to, but what I prefer is just to use this instead, because then you can just put this on your belt. So this is great, by the way. Also, you do need this for the camera. Now, since you can't get the S110 anymore, we are not going to be talking about this one anymore. Now we'll be talking about the one you most likely probably want to get. It is the difference between the G9X, and this is part 2, and the G9X. This is actually the G9X II, and this is the G7X II. Those are the two different ones that you might be considering to actually getting them. Now, between those two, the question would be, of course, which one should you consider to get for yourself? And the answer to that would be depending on your use. What are you going to be using this for? And there is a few other things why you should be considering this one versus that one. So first of all, it has a camera and it has a mirror to the camera. The great thing about this mirror is that you can see yourself and make selfies with it. You can't do this with that one. So the difference between those two is the camera here, where you can see yourself. So this is the selfie mirror, by the way, well, whatever you call it. It's just a way for you to see, and the screen itself is the screen when you take a picture. You can see it right here. Great thing about touchscreen right now, which is great. You can actually do it so you press on it and it takes a picture. I don't have this option on. I'm not sure if this one can actually do it. Some of them can. I just didn't do it because it's just super annoying, by the way. Now, one thing about this, yes, touchscreen, great. It doesn't come out, not good. And here is the biggest bummer of them all. Look at how small the screen actually is versus all the black space in here. Not using all of it, which is a huge bummer. Why in the world would you give me so much space here and yet you're just going to be using this amount? Not good. I don't like this, Canon. This one also does the same exact thing, by the way, so also a little bit disappointing. More black screen than it needs to actually use. It looks kind of great, by the way. This one, the screen capabilities are not as good as the previous generation, but still pretty decent. This one, on the other hand, look at this. Look at the size of this screen. You're also getting a small screen here, by the way, as well. So to be fair, same deal. Now, if you're going to be taking selfies and you're doing like YouTube videos, going to concerts and stuff like that, this is definitely amazing. So overhead, if you need to take pictures of people and still know what you're doing, you can still view it and take a picture. Same thing over a bridge. Let's say you're going over a bridge, there's a bridge down there or something under that you want to take a picture of. Well, if you want to know what you're taking a picture of, you can do it like this. Still kind of see what is going on over there, yet you don't have to bend over and look at whatever you're looking at. So it is pretty good for safety precaution. Also, if you're taking pictures of the sun or sunsets, you don't have to view and look exactly what you're trying to zoom into. And it also works as a stealth camera, by the way. Nobody knows you're taking a picture of somebody because you're doing it like this, and they don't know what you're looking at. So that's another, pointer for this. Super zoom in, take a selfie snap of somebody who doesn't know they're being photographed. Great for the beach, by the way. Anyways, this camera is really great. I mean, there's a lot of really good things that you can actually do with this. But between those two cameras, well, it has the zoom here that you can use. The same exact thing you can use in this one as well if you wanted to or not. The big thing, that big difference why you should get that one or not, well, look at this. The sound right here. Accidentally, you can put your hand over the sound and guess what? You can't hear anything. I did this a few times. I was filming myself, put this right over the mic, and of course that's a big mistake, and unfortunately this does the same exact thing too. So be aware of that. This one doesn't have the mirror that comes out, so that's a big bummer for it. But what it lacks in the mirror capability that goes out any way you want, look at this. Unfortunately, it can't go any more than that. So it is stuck all the way to here, and that's how it goes. That is the most it can do. Of course, if you want to get this Sony, it might have more capabilities, but the cost is going to be super prohibitive. You can buy 3 of those for the same price. And I do like the really nice rubber grip to this right here. Now, if you're doing YouTube, things that you need selfies, this is great for that. On the other hand, if you're not doing YouTube and you're just gonna go and take micro photography or low light photography, you need something small. You should use this one instead. That's why I have actually both of them. So for pictures that I want to take of something very close by, this is not gonna do you any justice whatsoever. This camera is the workhorse for that. Unfortunately, I can't wait until they come up with version 3 for G9X, and here's why. This one only goes to 28mm. I would love this to go to 24mm. So that's a big bummer with this one. So as soon as the new version comes out, I'll probably upgrade to that. On the other hand, this camera right here, the great thing about this one is that it goes all the way to 24mm, and so does this one as well. Unfortunately, this one is much bigger and weighs a lot more, so you can't just put this in your jeans pocket in case you're going on an expedition or something that you need a quick access to a fast camera. So that's not good for micro photography. Zoom, they're about just the same. This is 3x zoom, this is 4.2 zoom, which is a little bit better than this specific zoom. Low light capabilities. This one wins it. 1.2 to 2.8mm, which gives you way better low light capability than this specific one, which goes all the way to 2.0. So this gives you like a little bit better capability of low light, but if you super zoom in, it's 2.8, which is still good low light capability. This one, you super zoom in, it is all the way to 5, which means the picture is going to be super dark. So in terms of picture quality, this is the superior animal. In terms of really zooming in and trying to get like macro photography, amazing macro pictures, and if you need something in your pocket, this will be your workhorse right here. Plus it is more stylish and better looking than that one. Of course, that not gonna score that many points with anybody. When it comes to the flash, they both have the same thing. Pop-up flash. Press on this, the flash pop up, and you put this back in. Same thing with this one. Pop-up flash. This is not as capable as this flash. By the way, this is a better flash than that. And this one, which actually had a flash that you can't manually pop up. You have to go through the menu and to get the flash out. So this is a little bit maybe going back or an improvement, whatever you think it is. Some people like it manually, some people don't. When it comes to deciding which camera you should get, a few more things about them. Movie capabilities. Terrible for movies. You will not be able to film too much because the battery drains very fast. This is not for using movies. The movie feature here is super primitive. Doesn't work as good as it should. On the other hand, this one has an amazing movie capability. In fact, some YouTubers use this camera to film themselves, and I see some going back to this one over and over again. The reason for that is quite simple. It is very handy, it is great, the sound that comes up from it is amazing as well. In fact, if you want to film yourself for YouTube, the one that I primarily use is actually this camera. I don't use anything else. I just use this one most of the time. The G9X II, you can't really film yourself because you can't see yourself in the selfie mirror. So that's the thing about this. With this one you can. That's why YouTubers actually use it. Unfortunately, the big size of this makes it a little bit less capable because of that. But there is another problem with size. And the problem is, if you're using a DSLR, it's going to be way bigger than that. And Casey Neistat uses DSLR most of the time. It is heavy, it is bulky, and I rather use this one. In fact, Casey Neistat also uses the G7X II as well. That's one of his favorite cameras. And his rule is quite simple. Always film with the best and latest equipment you have on you. So it's better to have something on you that you can film. If you have an iPhone, film with an iPhone. If you have a Canon, film with a Canon. If you have the best possible DSLR that you can use, go ahead and use it. This is a very smart thing for him to say, because whatever you have, you should definitely use. And it's always good to have any camera. Doesn't matter which camera you have, it matters that you have something to capture the moment. Otherwise, it doesn't count. So you can't really tell somebody, hey look, I did this and so, without actual evidence. Putting it on YouTube, putting it and using it on social media. Whatever social media you use, Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram. And when it comes to all those different uses, guess what? This one has the Wi-Fi setting where you can potentially send it directly to your favorite social media. So with that said, this actually sums up the review for different kind of cameras and the Canon G9X II versus the G7X II. My thoughts and questions would be answered right below in the comment section, where you can buy any of those using the Amazon link below. Help sponsor my channel by not only buying from the Amazon, also by subscribing to the channel, and best of all, make sure you go and watch my videos and let me know what you think. Which is the better camera, which one you like, and become a subscriber of my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video review or whatever I decide to post on next. And in case you've been wondering what kind of camera I've been using to film this entire video, well, this is it. This is the Canon, and this is the state-of-the-art Canon ESO. So this is the M camera system, and I believe this is the M5 right here that you're actually seeing, which is very similar to my favorite all-time camera. So is this better? Well, in some ways it is. It's like a miniature DSLR, and I was using this specific lens, which is the macro 2.8mm lens, to film this entire scene. If you want to know more about this specific camera, I will, and I have a video review of it as well.